Let's see how this is going to work out this week. If I manage to get any, watchers, let's pull this up on YouTube and turn the volume down so I can get another angle of how this is going to go. My audio is constantly going up and down, and I had a camera issue before that I am pretty sure I fixed. I was 2 inches away from upgrading my Mac. Upgrading my Mac. All right. Oh, wrong button. All right, boomer. Just a second. All right. So yeah, I've got 2 cameras working, and one of them is over there at the top of this boom, and it was just a simple matter of figuring out which USB port to plug it into. So I have a dual monitor system here, and my Mac, which is it's a 2008 Mac, so it's a couple of years old, but I've maxed out the RAM. I've got a solid state hard drive in there and a lot of backup. It's about as powerful as I can get it. And so the video card takes 2 monitors. And I've been, I can't remember exactly which one of these came from where, but for some reason, if I plug the camera into the back of the monitor on my left and not the one on my right, it recognizes the camera. It was not recognizing it. It was all right. All right, that's good. It's always nice to have a friendly face. So, anyways, I got it figured out, and but I was like really close. I'm like, maybe the computer's just too old, which it is for some things. Eventually, I am going to have to upgrade, but I thought I was going to have to do it sooner than I was ready to. So. On with the show. Years ago, when Invincible was a new comic book, my sister, she used to be, although she isn't anymore, which I don't hold it against her, but she used to be in the habit of this light. She used to be in the habit of sending me comic books, just random. I read this. I think this is cool, and then she'd, put it in the mail and send it out. I am not very disciplined when it comes to the mail, so it's like I was always very grateful that she actually took the trip to go and physically put something in the mail. And it was these Invincible comic books, and they were good. I think. This is the whole stack. I don't have everything, okay, but she sent me 0. The issue 0, issue number 2. I'm going to have to fill in a lot of gaps because I started going to the compilations, and then picked up a 41, and so it goes like 0, 2, and then to 41, 46, and it kind of jumps all over the place. And but yeah, so I've got volume 1 in the collected works. I've got 1 through 9. I think the only one that I'm missing is 8. I'm going to have to rectify a lot of that stuff. I have a need it, got a comic book list. Well, right, Jeff, you know what? We're going to talk about how crazy good Invincible is, because this has more to do with the show than with the book. It's a comparison between the two. I didn't have time to go through every single one of these stories. I was just looking for relevant parts, and then trying to get myself set up here so that I could explain. And I don't want to call it. It's not necessarily disappointment, although it's probably going to sound like that. I am just wondering why this keeps happening. I know that Robert Kirkman changed the story of The Walking Dead because it makes no sense to write a comic book and then it turns into a TV show and then um, I'm sorry, the what am I looking at here? I'm sorry, guys. This lack of there we go. Okay, I was looking at myself quietly on YouTube and I couldn't figure out why it was. I could I couldn't figure out what the lag was. I was like, oh man, this something else is screwed up. This is never going to work. Okay, so better pull up my Twitter. So at any rate, the point is, you don't want to write the TV show the same way that you wrote the comic book because if you want to know what's going to happen next, well, you would already know what's going to happen next if you read the whole thing. You could just go back into the book and go, oh, next week is going to be issue number 54, and they're going to do this, this, and this. And I understand that, changing the story. You might even change some characters, add some characters, which, as far as I can tell, was done here. Now, I understand where cases like with the Marvel, with MCU, there are story arcs that happened in different parts of the comic books of its lifetime where you're going to tell this was a really good character arc and we want to make sure we put this in the movie, we want to make sure we put this arc in this story arc in the movie rather, and fit them together in such a way is that it just makes for good cinema. Incidentally, I was watching The Winter Soldier again the other night because I believe it's the single best movie in the entire MCU as far as the quality of the movie and the writing and the character development and all that stuff. And fresh off of watching the end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I was just like, that's the Sam Wilson that I wanted to see in this series, and that is not the Sam Wilson that I got in this series. But not to digress. So what we have is just a real quick primer. Mark Grayson is the son of the world's greatest superhero, Omni-Man, and he's waiting to get his powers. Sorry, everybody, there's going to be spoilers. One of his best friends in school, his name is William, and he likes to be called William. He does not like to be called Bill or Will, as is illustrated and I'll find it. I should have put a post-it note in here because in this in this volume 2 is the trip that these guys take whenever they go to visit a college. And one of the panels, I gotta find it. 'Cause, okay, yeah. Meter missions office lead the way. Okay, yeah. William. Let's say this is the guy. This is William right here. Okay. One of his word balloons down at the bottom tells you a lot of the things that you need to know about William, which is this: how come none of the high school girls are this hot? I don't know. Maybe they haven't figured out how to do their makeup well yet. There's always that contention with the freshman 15. They're not as wild and crazy because they're away from home for the first time. Maybe that has something to do with it. But the point is the character, this best friend character in the TV show, doesn't sound anything like that. I'm going to share my screen real quick. It's not even just that he doesn't sound anything like that. He sounds he sounds really, really not like that. Okay, I'm going to have to go to the actual window over here, and hopefully I have to be on Safari. See, I can't get this to play on my Brave browser. Amazon won't let me play it, so I have to go to Safari. Okay, I want to make sure. And Jeff, if you're still there, please tell me if you can hear this. And that is not what I wanted. Okay, let me quit that screen. Stop screen. Share screen. Share screen. Maybe if I do I wanted to do an application window. Entire screen. Window. This one. Tell me if this works. Is that working? All right, now, yeah, if you're still there, Jeff, yeah, you can see it. Great. But why are they not? How come I can't see it? Like it shows up there, but it doesn't show up. For crying out loud. All right. Just tell me if you can hear this.
Big fan of the Yankees, are you? Sure, he's hot.
Tell me if it's too quiet.
And that mustache. Sorry, okay. Straight stuff.
Is it
You
too
up for some
loud?
Flash Crash tonight? I'm hoping for a level 43 chest armor. Don't bring up that stupid job, man. Don't be that person.
When's the last time you bought a comic book? Those things.
You're smaller. Yeah, I know that, but I just want to know if it's too loud or not. Like I'm just worried about the audio.
And they're doing Seance Dog twice a month, all summer.
You're into this.
Not too loud?
Stuff.
Knock it off, Todd.
Come on.
Okay, good. All right. I just want you to hear this one thing because it's gross. Blah blah blah. Okay. This is Mark Grayson in high school, and this guy in the back here. Okay, that's his best friend, William, who he just was at that college trip with. They have not gone on this college trip in this show yet. Okay, and clearly, from the word balloon, his best friend is not unlike himself, flaming heterosexual. Listen to this.
I saw.
I can't believe the Guardians of the Globe let them get that close to killing the president.
They didn't even get into the building. And Omni-Man was there too.
You're such an Omni-maniac.
Right here.
Way to root for the underdog. Big fan of the Yankees, are you? Sure, he's hot and all. And that mustache. Sorry,
Yeah.
okay. Straight stuff.
Yeah.
You up for some Flash Crash tonight? I'm hoping.
That's your best friend who's gay, who thinks your dad is hot, and because of the mustache. Wow. Anyways, not too long after this, we get to meet the girl of, well, we won't say the girl of his dreams. In fact, the more we know about the girl that he's into, the more we realize that superheroes can be stupid.
For a level 43 chest armor. Don't
Okay.
bring up that stupid job, man. Don't be that person.
When's the last time you bought a comic book? Those things are expensive. And they're doing Seance Dog twice a month, all summer.
You're into the stupidest stuff.
Knock it off, Todd.
Right here.
Come on.
Quit playing games. I know you're crazy about me. Marcy told me.
Well, you are big
All right.
and
Let's
strong.
get a good look at this guy. He's big and strong, blonde hair, blue eyes, and a big bully. Okay, there's something else about the production of this show that I want to bring up that I don't know that.
You know it.
And you think that makes it okay for you to harass me?
Don't walk away from me. What are you, a lesbian or something?
Okay, nobody I know talks like that. Nobody I know talks like that. It's one of the things that I can't stand about like bad, right? Okay, sure, he needs to be a bad guy, he needs to be a bully, but seriously, there are no real Flash Thompsons in life. And if there are, the percentage of them is so small. There's like, I don't know.
Oh my God, I wish. Would you leave me alone then? Let go of me so I can go find a girl to kiss.
Don't. Guy's twice your size.
Maybe you can just sit back and watch this. I can't.
I can because I'm not Omni-Man, and neither are you.
Let's see. I think Amber's been pretty clear about how she feels. Todd.
Are you serious, Grayson?
Right? That's normal. We'd expect that.
Leave him alone!
The real hero emerges for now.
What are you looking at?
Okay. There is in the past there's been a I don't know if it's going to be like a call out or a cry out or whatever, but some vibrations about you can't have, and what was it, Scarlett Johansson or was it Um, I always get the two of them mixed up. Scarlett Johansson and Ashley Judd. One of the two of those was supposed to play a trans person or something like that, and there's a huge hullabaloo because you can only get a trans person to play a trans person. And then was Brian, the guy from Breaking Bad. It's because I need to know his name is why it's going to escape me. But yeah, he was supposed to play a quadriplegic, and there was this. Well, no, you have to get somebody who can't move their arms and legs or are missing their arms and legs to play, which is stupid. I think even Dave Chappelle did a stand-up bit about that. So I'm only saying that to say this. When we look through, I'm going to stop this screen real quick. I'll get back to it because there's another one I want to show. I'm going to share the screen. It's going to be a Brave tab. It's going to be this. I know I'm talking out loud and thinking and talking at the same time. Okay, so let's see if you guys can see this. I'll make it bigger. I think this solo layout will help. Okay, now these people are all talented. This has nothing to do with that. Okay, but the decisions are right up the alley of that dynamic that I was just talking about, where only gay people can play gay people, or only, like you can't take your acting abilities and use them to the best of your ability to play something that you're not, which is what acting is. You have to actually be that thing. So when we see the family makeup of Invincible, his mother is either of Oriental descent or Asian descent or whatever the perfect term of the day is for that, and that would make Mark Grayson at least half, because his dad is Omni-Man. He's what do they call it? Vitrium. Anyways, so we have Mark Grayson being played by Stephen Yeun. Okay, and this is a voice. This isn't somebody acting. It's just their voice. His mother, Sandra Oh. You guys would recognize her from Grey's Anatomy. J.K. Simmons is Omni-Man. Okay, Omni-Man is a white guy. J.K. Simmons is a white guy. Incidentally, another aside, I was playing Portal 2, and I was going through that place in the game where Cave Johnson is speaking. And I think it's important that everybody who still has the ability to play that game, I was using a PS3 because that's what I've got, play Portal 2. And while we're in this place of deciding whether we get the vaccine or not, go through Portal 2 and play the part, and go through the part of the game where Cave Johnson is telling you to trust science. Okay, this is Zazie Beetz. She plays that girl Amber that we just saw. So very pretty, and I guess she's trying to help something that I don't know what that's all about. And it goes on and on. The monster girl is a white girl, so the white girl's doing the voice. The Mahler twins are blue. So I don't know why. Come on, work. I got a lot of tabs open. This thing may be having a problem. But we'll go down the line. Walton Goggins plays Cecil, white guy. Jillian Jacobs plays Adam Eve. That's basically what she looks like, except for her hair's not red. And so they're doing that. Zachary Quinto is Robot, which kind of makes sense. Although, if you were being accurate, William Clockwell, this is the guy that voices his friend William. His, up until they started doing the show and writing his character into the show, straight best friend. There's because I had heard somebody say that, oh yeah, well, it's not woke. There's no wokeness in there, and I'm like, yeah, there is. Let me stop sharing this. Okay, so I'll go back and get this other screen. Have I ever seen Archer's Mom? No, I haven't. I don't. I've never. I never watched that show. I think it was a um, lack of Cartoon Network. See, this keeps happening every time. Why is that? All right, we'll bring it back. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I'll pull up my stickies. I'm pretty sure that's all I've got for. Jeez, I hope I'm not doxing myself by having these icons on the. Yeah, this one. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, that's your introduction to Amber right there. And I believe we see her a little bit later. He's going to be able to fly. Slow down. I think one of his friends gets involved. Yeah. We're story is good, and it's good enough, like taking the time out to put this other stuff in that doesn't need to be there. It's more of that cramming. Let's see, season 2, 13:27. Get over here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to be introduced to a little bit more of Amber's personality here, and it's mostly like just the face she makes near the
You look
end.
like you need to talk about yesterday. I heard he just let Todd hit him like 20 times. He didn't flinch or anything. Todd got so freaked out he stayed home for 3 days.
And this was post
Are you talking about
Powers.
Mark Grayson?
Duh. Of course, Amber. You're the reason Todd beat him up again.
Okay, that face right there.
I never recognized you before.
That face right there means run in the other direction. That's somebody who is that's a face you make when you're scheming. I would be I would be looking to get away, and I was actually trying to find somewhere in the episode. This is 36 minutes and 12 seconds in, I believe. Come on, give me what I want. Okay.
Shut it, Grayson. I'm sorry.
What?
Sorry I kicked your ass.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm sorry I kicked your ass, okay?
Oh. Thanks, I guess.
Amber Bennett also wants to know if you'd like her number.
What?
Do you want Amber's phone number, nerd?
Yes, but why are you...
Because she found some old photos of me, okay? Photos she said she'd delete if I did this one stupid thing and then never talk to you again. There. Have a crappy life with her.
If somebody... never mind the way that these two are interacting, that it's of a violent nature or whatever, but if two people were talking over a beer and somebody said, someone is making me give you their phone number, and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm being blackmailed, because I have pictures of she has pictures of me doing something that I don't want other people know. What are the pictures? How did she get them? What are they of? Like, dude, ask those questions before you decide to, and of course he does, call her up. Just, yeah, this is what I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to deal with, but it usually works okay. So we get some actual bad guy drama, good guy, big fight, and there's a big mystery happening. So, and what do I have? Season 3, yeah.
Hello?
Hey, it's Mark Grayson. Mark Grayson.
Who?
Mark? From school?
I know, I'm just messing with you.
First interaction over the phone with a girl that you like, and she's just messing with you. I'm telling you, run in the other direction. this is not the kind of person that you actually want to be like trying to form some sort of a relationship with. This is somebody who's just going to toy with you. And we find out later on.
God, you thought I was serious.
Oh, no. I got it.
I was wondering if you were gonna call.
Don't you mean when?
Nah, I can think of a few reasons for if. I came on too strong. You've got a girlfriend. You're lame and you don't like chicks who kick assholes in the balls when they threaten you. You're terrified of me, aren't you?
This is one of the cringiest people I've ever seen written into a show, let alone, well, it's not really a cartoon for kids, but
No, I think you're amazing. That's why I'm calling to tell you that. I mean, that's not why I'm calling. Not that that's not true. Sorry. It's been a weird day.
Sounds like it. You want to start again? Hey, handsome Mark Grayson, what's going on?
I was thinking finals are coming up and we're both in Miss Walker's Global Issues class. Maybe we can go over everything together?
okay, so there's going to be a study date and stuff like that. Of course, he doesn't recognize it. Any a guy and a girl in this having this interaction where it's the first time he's calling, he's nervous. You know, she's messing with him. She can probably hear it all over his voice. But then start over and say, "Hey, handsome Mark Grayson." Now, there's absolutely no reason why this guy should think that this girl is, into him at all. In fact, I don't know that there's any mention of any attraction whatsoever. It's just, he's upset because somebody is being bullied, not because it's her. Anyways, I think there's supposed to be a study date, and this is going to be the hard part because I hadn't found it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's in this episode. Yeah, his friend, his awesome friend. Okay, I think it's just a couple of seconds after this.
4 years old. I used to go by Monster Woman, but it got too hard to explain, so if you don't want to start changing my diapers, 3 exercises a day are too much for me.
Yeah, that's just a subplot.
Of course. My apologies.
The reasons why
It
Monster
must be
Girl can't be Monster
difficult.
Girl all the time is
Try
because
having a
she
normal
gets younger
relationship
and
looking
younger.
like this. The guys who are interested are either going through puberty or popping up on sex offender registries.
I understand what it's like for the world to look at you and see
For
one
crying
thing,
out loud, this is
never
what I'm
knowing the
looking for.
truth of what's in.
Let's get there already.
Pathetic. This has got to go.
Okay.
Hi.
He's gonna get advice from his friend, his formerly flaming heterosexual friend, and on advice. There's going to be a study date now. Behind Mark, if we see this, what is this? Okay, like there's look at how they're portraying this kid in high school. Some kind of a bottle of cream, Kleenex, a robot toy on the floor, and he's a total slob. He needs advice from his friend to figure out.
This. Toss this.
What? Stop. Hey! Being a geek is cool now, okay? So maybe Amber likes comics too. You thought of that? You dick?
I'm not talking about the comics. I'm talking about the dirty clothes, the dishes, the tissues.
Yuck.
Better. Okay. I brought you some homework. A little Naomi Klein, a touch of Margaret Atwood, some Ta-Nehisi Coates.
I haven't read any of those.
Holy crap. Okay, that right there is like the other, like, he hasn't read any of those. Dude, read those books and then stop calling that girl. Let's go through them again, because the Ta-Nehisi Coates is the guy that they're picking to write Black Superman.
I'm not talking about the comics. I'm talking about the dirty clothes, the dishes,
yeah.
the tissues. Better. Okay. I brought you some homework. A little Naomi Klein, a touch of Margaret Atwood, some Ta-Nehisi Coates.
I haven't read any of.
Okay, let's do some research. I don't even know how to spell this. Yeah. Yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates. I believe this is the guy that was writing tweets that, there's going to be comic, short fiction, multimedia. Of course, this is, Wikipedia, so good luck. Journalism, author, teaching projects, views on race in the United States. Oh, not even a paragraph. Analysis that the extent of white identity expression in the United States serves as a critical factor in threat perceptions of certain European Americans in the response to political paradigms. It's not only is it not a paragraph, it's freaking word salad. It makes no sense. But this is a critical race theory superhero, Ta-Nehisi Coates. Who was the other one? Margaret Atwood. I'll worry about that stream later. Margaret Atwood. Let's go here. I'm not actually sure who this is. I think she's a poet, but I was kind of looking for the blah, 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 Britannica, yada, yada, New York Times, poets.org. Did she demand that Wikipedia? There we go. There it is. Recurring, she's been around for a long time. Recurring themes, theory of Canadian identity, feminism, speculative and science fiction. Sounds good. Animal rights, political involvement. Yeah, she considers herself a red Tory. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. Maybe that explains a lot. Let's see what you see in a historical sense of the term, saying that Tories were the ones who believed that those in power had a responsibility to the community, that money should not be the measure of all things, not all things, but a lot of things. Federal election, she attended a rally for blah, 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 blah. This is a lot of Canadian stuff. I'm not sure. So, I mean, I'm not gonna pass absolute judgment, but when you stick a name like Margaret Atwood in between those other three, see, which was it? Ta-Nehisi Coates.
A little Naomi Klein, a touch of Margaret Atwood, some Ta-Nehisi Coates.
I haven't read any of.
See what who Naomi Klein is. I'm pretty sure. Probably misspelling that. Oh, right. A Canadian author, social activist, filmmaker known for her political analysis and criticism of the corporate globalization, capitalism, on the 3-year appointment from blah, 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 yada, yada. Yeah, she is the Gloria Steinem Chair in Medium Culture and Feminist Studies at Rutgers University. Shock doctrine, fences and windows, the take. I'm not sure. Some of this stuff might be interesting. I have to get my see what's already offered in Audible because I'm not spending a token on it. Let's see, environmentalism, criticism of Israel. There we go. Iraq war criticism, Venezuela. Okay. Klein signed a 2004 petition entitled "We Would Vote for Hugo Chavez" in 2007. She described Venezuela under the Chavez government as a country where, quote, citizens had renewed their faith in the power of democracy to improve their lives, and did that by electing a dictator who turned the economy who ruined the economy so perfectly that it is mentioned in the same breath as the Weimar Republic. Wallpapering your house with money because it's worthless. A garbage bag full of whatever their dollars are so that you can buy a loaf of bread. People are eating animals, like killing and eating. Like, you don't have house pets in Venezuela. But whatever. We would vote for Hugo Chavez. So you know where she stands, and basically where Amber stands.
Those.
But she has, so get started.
Yeah.
It'll show Amber you're interested in her.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll show Amber, because once you read those books, if you're still interested in Amber, then there's no help for you. You have no concept of individual thought.
She's also into spicy foods, stand-up comedy, and fourth wave feminism.
There's
When I
it.
read her file, I asked around at school.
It's just a study date, not a first date.
Mark,
So there you have that. And here she is. But they basically talk. The rest of this is them talking about what they're studying, and he's called away to do superhero stuff, which is common. So I'm going to close that window. Hopefully, the stuff will. I'm not sure if there's anything in episode 3. That was episode 3, I believe. But I want to go to episode. Where are we at? Is this 6? Yeah. 6 is where we see the college trip happen. And I believe that is at 778. Okay, the college trip that we. Come on, Dave. 778, 758. It's like 778. I must hit the wrong key. I'm like looking for 78 seconds in a minute. It's not going to work. But remember, we are on a college trip. We want to do this. We are on a college trip, and we're supposed to meet her at the admissions office. Which way does that lead the way? Man, how come none of the high school girls are this hot? He's all about all about the girls. All right, so let's go. Where are we at here? All right, we'll figure this out. We'll go full screen on this.
You do look like you got run over.
Yeah, it's me. The guy doesn't know how traffic lights work.
Yeah, he had missed he was supposed to go help at a shelter. She was, at a community center serving food and being very nice like that, and doing community work, which is great. That's better to help each other like that than to ask for a government handout. They can never handle anything the right way.
Still can't believe you wouldn't let me see you in the hospital.
Yeah, they had weird rules about visitors. Eve only knew I was there because she
And
heard.
keep in mind at this point, she's, as far as we know, she doesn't know that he's invincible. Adam Eve does, but his friend, I believe, just Adam Eve does.
William. What?
I'd basically already dumped you that night.
I know, and I've thought a lot about that these last couple of days. Remember when I first called you? After you made Todd give me your number?
Yeah?
I was terrified, and
She
I could
knew
barely
that.
talk straight.
She knew that, and she
I
was still messing with him.
messed it all up. But you let me start over.
And?
Can we do that again? Start over?
This is his chance to get out.
You're right.
Some dramatic lighting
Yeah,
on her
sorry.
butt, by the way. She looks like she wet herself. So does he.
Hey, handsome Mark Grayson. I'm glad you've still got that pretty face of yours.
Me too. So, want to hang out sometime?
Sure.
Okay, and then the sucking sounds begin.
Both ways, Mark. You need to look both ways before you cross the street. Did you skip kindergarten the day they taught that?
Believe.
Guess so. Hey, we haven't hung out for a while. We should be
Because someone's the king.
serious this time.
It's okay.
I think it's. Let me get
Much
to the,
fun.
No drinking, no drugs, and no sex.
Yeah, this
No
is
sex.
the college trip.
Got it.
Amber's coming
I'll take good
along
care of
because
them,
she's a
Mrs.
thing
Grayson.
now. Kids will be kids, right? And then they're having their marital spat, whatever, because we all know he's a big idiot.
Oh my God, here he comes.
William!
Okay, and then this is there.
Can
we
a
go.
person even have an 8-pack? Anywho, I don't want to bore you guys anymore about Rick. Ooh, except that he's.
We get it. You're in love with the guy.
What? No. I mean, Rick's amazing, but love him? No. Oh my God, here he comes.
William! Come here.
What's up, Rick? These are my friends, Mark and Amber.
We've heard so much about you.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. Let me grab your bags. I got my dorm room all set up for us.
Yeah, that's right. Sheesh.
Yay.
I like the way you talk to me.
So what happens is, well, that happens, and that's just whatever.
Exercise helps. Drugs.
There's a big.
MIT courted me.
They're
I
what
feel
is that?
sorry.
They're ode to Dr. West in the Reanimator, breaking pencils. Okay, so there is a big fight. This creature comes out of the ground. Invincible has to save him.
Get away from him, you bastard!
Yep, and apparently William has great aim. The headshot every time. And it's your classic Mark takes off.
Mark! Mark?
Great. And fight happens.
Invincible.
William, you saved my life.
What?
Yep.
Me?
It's- Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to keep jumping around like this. I just want to find. I want to find the spots. I think.
Grab a
it's
shovel.
Right. Yeah. in
How
30,
long have you been a
36.
superhero?
William!
3 months? To me. Amber will forgive you. She always does.
I'm not so sure this time.
Yeah,
Yes.
you might be right. Now, take me
Amber's
flying or I'm
upset
gonna tell
because he
everyone
left
you're
to go get
invincible.
help
Sorry, not sorry.
when this whole thing was going on.
There, okay?
Can I try it on?
And this
What?
is where
Your suit. Can I
this is
try
where
it?
Absolutely
there's
not.
more cringe. Right here.
Sorry. Didn't mean to scare you.
It's fine.
Anyway, I'm Kyle.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Everything about this character makes me want to reach through the screen, turn her into a real. Just she needs to be slapped.
I'm Amber.
Low-key mega party at our house tonight?
And that doesn't make sense either. What is a low key mega party? Okay.
Fraternity.
Yeah, but like the
fraternity.
okay kind that isn't super
It's
douchey.
not super douchey. It's not a super douchey fraternity like all of the other fraternities.
You guys hungry? Should I grab some pizza or something?
Okay, and then there's somebody gets captured, turned into a crazy monster, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so when we get into season 7, or is it? Yeah, when there's a point where we get into season 7, episode 7. I believe. We're kind of dead. We need to talk. We're confused. Eve, same time, everybody's looking for him. Let's go into 8. Close these other windows, putting a strain on the system. Okay, because this is 2 episodes ago. Our heroine, Amber, doesn't know anything about him being invincible.
By the time I was born,
and there's a lot of backstory. I honestly don't know where this
direct
is.
hit on Omni-Man.
learn.
Okay, look, I'm not even going to bother with all this. The point is, that character, the whole reason why that character is there is for preaching. Amber doesn't actually. I don't think she adds anything to the story. She's like she's the same kind of inconvenience that Aunt May is. Except, I'm sorry guys, I'm closing this thing up. I gotta quit my stickies. She's the same kind of the same kind of inconvenience that Aunt May is, or any other when you're making a character in order for them to be a little bit more interesting, what you want to have is a disadvantage. When I was a kid, we used to play this game, or try to, before it got shit canned by the powers that be. I was bitter for a while, but I'm over that now. But it was basically an independent role playing game for superheroes. It's called Champions. And when you made your character, everybody started off with 100 points, so that if your character was going to be super intelligent, he couldn't be super strong too. It made it impossible to make Mary Sue's, except that if you wanted to add points, if you wanted to work with more than 100 points, you would add what's called a disadvantage. So you could have a character who is super strong and super intelligent, but also like addicted to drugs. Okay. And that's basically what I probably Aunt May. What did I say before? Did I say Aunt Mary? Whatever. And that's like what Aunt May is to Spider-Man. She's a disadvantage, something he's got to drop everything and go take care of it. And, there's a relationship there. Of course, he feels guilty because he killed her husband, or didn't kill her husband. Uncle Ben died because of something, because he ignored a convenient threat that he could have taken care of. We all know the story. Amber is one of those. And why? If she was a nice girl, I could see it. If she wasn't trying to challenge him constantly to be the alpha in the relationship, that would be great. But it's not. It's like this contentious thing where she's messing with him. She's telling him that she's the most important thing. That all of the times that he has to take off and do something, there's no understanding. In the final episode, she says that she knows that he's invincible in such a fashion that it makes you wonder if she didn't know it the whole time, and she was just stressing him out for no reason and being completely ununderstanding of him having to take off and do stuff. Now, I realize that there are people out there that are going to be watching this, and I appreciate you being patient with my sputtering out sentence fragments and, getting my references wrong or whatever. And and to those people who are watching the video and saying to you, but it's just a show. I totally get that. I was watching something the other day, and my wife and my daughter were watching it, and it might even have been this, but I think it was something else. But it's a TV show, was the thing. I'm like, yes, I understand that. But there are real people with real ideas, and I don't want to make it sound conspiratorial by using the word agenda, okay? Because that makes it sound like they're like, all right, I've got this vehicle, I've got this TV show that I can totally just control the minds of however many millions of people are going to watch this thing and make them think the way that I think. But stuff like that happens. These stories are crafted in such a way so that you have an emotional response to them instead of, having you want to have some kind of a discipline where you can actually think from one end of the problem to the next. It's odd because you once you're tipped off to it, you tend to see it in a lot of places that you didn't normally. And I think I've used this example before, like when you get a new car or a new to you car and you're, driving, or you were in a Chevy and now you're in a Toyota, whatever. You'll see, the more familiar you become with your own car, you'll see that car almost all over the place. And it's like that. The light has been turned on. It's like putting those glasses on, those sunglasses on, and They Live. You can see the alien going. One of them can see, but it's like it's one of the things that makes watching these things. Because I was excited the last time I saw an animated show on Prime. I was watching Undone, and I thought it was really good. Okay, this is interesting. I don't have my own personality, so I copied those that are in movies or TV shows, held on to them for a couple of weeks, and then learned a new one. I also, it's an interesting concept to me because I've often thought that, aside from the other things are in our environment, that we tend to not outright copy, but emulate those things that we've seen in movies, read in books. It's like that personality version of learning a new word, using it in a sentence, and then meditating on it all week, and then it becomes part of the amalgam, all of those experiences and influences. Along with your own independent thought, this amalgam of stuff is the thing that makes up your personality. I remember having there was a girl that I used to date. It was way back in like 80, I want to say 80, 89, 9, because I moved out. But it was this thing where I remember I'd had, said a couple of lines, something that came up in conversation. I'd like say a line here, something that I'd seen in a movie or whatever, and maybe I'd said it once or twice. But then we would actually like watch that movie, and a couple of things that I said where I never said I saw this in a movie. It was just this thing that I said, and then it comes up later, and this girl looks at me. She goes, "Is everything that you know from the movies?" Because it was just, you remember a good line. I still, there's a lot of times where you run into somebody who's not self-aware in the least, and I can hear Deckard from Blade Runner in the back of my head going, how does it not know what it is? At any rate, I was going to, my plan was to, and I think this is how I want to do it. I was going to put this in the Twitter messages, and people can come in and talk about it however they want to. Let's see, come in chat. And then I'll just throw it out in the actual chat. Sorry, guys, I'm like, I guess you can't. All right. Blah, blah. I'll be with you guys in a second. Get this in there. Okay, so if you want to discuss, we can. So, yeah, I got through the entire thing, and it left me flat. There are so many other aspects to these characters that you could have that is not going to add, or it would probably add to the story. But it's just another instance of where this character is this way for no reason, and you're going to like it. Yeah, you might even act more genuinely, I think. How would we all act without movie shows? I don't know. if it's not movies or TV, it's going to be another influence from somewhere else. You might end up, like a lot of, kids will emulate their dad or their uncle or a family member or a friend, somebody in school. But it is kind of like a personality fitting room. You try it on, like you were saying, you try it on and see how it fits, and if it's only like even like part of something. It's almost like this soundboard over here that I always forget that I have. I try to add little carts to it. Like this is one of my favorites.
Fuck is what I'm thinking.
Um, I've used that in a sentence before. But all that stuff, you hear something in the movies, you hear a line that makes sense to you, and
You want something out of life, you got to put yourself out there.
yeah, I love that one. The guy that played Herc in The Wire, which should be required viewing for all Americans, especially if you're living in Baltimore. But at any rate, that's basically it's a good show, but they put these anchors on the stuff. It's almost like it's a necessary thing, like a restrictor plate on a stock car, because somebody out there thinks that stock cars are going around the track too fast. So that means that we have to make stock cars safer, or we need to wrap our football players in bubble wrap because they didn't know that it was going to be a violent game when they first started. It's a socio-political restrictor plate. Now, I don't know if Robert Kirkman that's really how he feels or doesn't feel or whatever, but it was a good book before. You didn't need to change it. You didn't need to do that. Changing the story is one thing. Like I said in the beginning, you don't want to be able to look up in the comic book what the next week's episode is all going to be about and how it gets resolved. That would be boring. You'd be getting paid for doing no work or doing the same job twice. So yeah, change the story, but that changes the flavor of not everything, but it changes the flavor. How a character is reacting to another character. Like if Mark Grayson does not care about the stuff that this, yeah, basically, yeah, I don't know if we're. This usually happens, and most of the time I welcome it. We can go into like a deep philosophical dive, but it's a lot easier if you guys have a microphone and a camera. Yeah, as a result of our life's experiences, all the good ones and the bad ones. Yeah, and how you deal with them and stuff. But this shift is aggravating, and one of the things that's aggravating about it is not even necessarily the subject matter, is that it keeps happening all the time. It's like that space in, let's say for instance, your absolute favorite or least favorite color is hot pink, and your most favorite thing to do is watch football. And then there's always that spot in the middle of the season where everybody's wearing pink because everybody loves boobies, which I do too, and that's great. But there's a point where it just overshadows it. The whole reason why I turned the TV on was so that I could see this football game, and now all this other crap is getting in the way. Taking a knee. No, hike the ball. Play the game. And what was it? Was it LeBron James was upset because somebody said shut up and dribble. Yeah, I guess, like you're ruining what this whole thing is about. Your superhero is now stumbling all over the place because he doesn't know what to do with he doesn't know what to do with these. Read these books. Seriously, if he had read those books before he started talking to that girl, I think he would move moving in the opposite direction. In fact, I'm on Team Eve. I am not on Team Amber. It's like was it a Saturday Night Live? I think they had what was his face? Taylor Lautner on there wearing in the height of the Twilight thing. And there's like in a class with some other girl. he's dressed as a girl, and he's got on a T-shirt that says Team Edward. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, superheroes, regular people, especially one who's. I'm telling you, when you go, it'll be like the Fibonacci sequence. Once you understand what it is, you'll see it all over the place. That character is terrible. Every time she comes on the screen, just drags the entire thing down. So it's been what, an hour and 40 seconds. It's probably enough as far as the bitching and complaining goes, unless somebody's going to jump in here. And I was just looking to see, does it actually show me who's in here besides who's in the chat? And Antonio, like, if you're still out there, real quick, what? Oh, yeah, Uncle Ben died. Give me a little bit of a hint if I ran into in another stream somewhere. If I might be following you, because your avatar is just, it's an A, and it's not enough of a hint for me. Clobbering times. So let's go over to home here and see if there's anything in. Put these messages down and see if there's anything happening in the Twitter sphere before I bail. Oh, that's nice. I've got a point, apparently. So do you want to hear more? Okay, thanks. Thanks for the sub. All right, let me get over here. Julius, thank you.
Hey, what's up, man?
You're saving me from myself. I was just about to click over to Twitter to see what was going on there because it never fails.
Yeah, I know Twitter. You can always count on Twitter to, validate your opinions or not validate your opinions. It's all over the place.
It's good idiocy fodder. It's like, and anytime they do a man on the street interview, that's what Twitter is. Especially if you follow all the right people.
Yeah, exactly. And it's for me, I like to follow. It depends how extreme you are. So if you're like too extreme, then I don't follow you. But if you're like kind of on the verge of like center and maybe you lean a little bit to the right or lean a little bit to the left, or maybe you lean to the left, but if you're still, I guess you could say rational, and you could recognize that.
It's a quote Han Solo. Well, that's the real trick now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I follow a few people who identify on the left, and but they still have their faculties in place, so they're able to take in new information and change their opinions based on new information that comes out. So I tend to follow those kind of people. Anyone else outside of that, I don't typically follow. I don't even pay attention. I just ignore them. It's always best to ignore them.
Yeah, because I mean you're just basically going to be banging your head against a brick wall. Yeah, my opinion changed over time over like a lot of things. I remember when like Bush was in office, and I had one way of looking at things, and the more information you get about what was going on in the Middle East, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I thought that.
Yeah,
because it just becomes this passionate thing, and you have to see it happening. You know what I mean? Or like feel it happening, really, and then you're like, I think it's time to you have to turn the heart off and turn the brain on.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. And that's what happened to me after 9/11. I was 18 years old when it happened, and the first question for me, because I was a naive 18-year-old, I really didn't know anything about American foreign policy or anything like that.
Yeah, and
my question was like, why? What was the point of that? Like, what was the reason why they wanted to attack us? The country. Like, why? What was the point? And then so I looked. It was like that started like a 5-year journey of just soaking in as much knowledge as I could in terms of our foreign policy.
Yeah,
not from the Bush era, but before the Bush era. The Reagan years, the Carter, and all that stuff. The Islamic Revolution, and before that, and and then it just eventually you realize, oh crap, okay, that kinda it was tragic that it happened the way it happened, but at the same time it's like, okay, that would make sense why they would retaliate, blowback, as the CIA calls it, blowback.
Yeah.
Back to all our policies that eventually just bubbled over to the point where someone decided, you know what, F this, I'm gonna do something about it.
Well, yeah, and then when you go back into, geez, what was going on when Reagan was in office?
A lot was going on
Well,
apparently.
I mean, it's like the USSR was in Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and then
we were, in fact, if you look.
Yeah, and the Reagan administration funded
Drake. We are leaving. But yeah, well, if you watch Rambo 3, the Afghanistan or the Afghanis are on our side. Like he joins forces with the Afghanis because he's fighting the Russians at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good line.
It was the Reagan administration, I think, funded Taliban at that point.
Well, yeah,
to help the Soviets. To help them fight against the Soviets. Yeah, because the Soviets were pretty aggressively trying to get them in line.
Yeah,
and it backfired on them. But
well, that's
I joined.
The Iran Contra affair was a whole. You were selling weapons.
Oh man, Iran Contra was
money
was
to the Contras.
Talk about a major scandal there that was swept under the rug. You know.
Yeah, like we're selling weapons to Iran, and now are we don't you dare get that nuclear weapon going, which I wouldn't want. I don't. That's a whole other thing. I thought you might enjoy this though. I finally got. Yeah, I finally managed to clear this.
Wow, look at that!
And then fill it. It's all like flaky and stuff. I have like 2 of them. One of them's actually got some whiskey in it.
Oh, cool! What kind of whiskey you put in those things?
Rebel Yell straight bourbon whiskey. And here's the thing: it's like a 750 milliliter bottle. It's about like that big. You'd be surprised the volume these things hold. Because I couldn't fill both of these up with one bottle, you know. I was just like christening them with something, and it's a straight bourbon whiskey that tastes pretty good for the placement on the shelf that it is, which is like on the bottom. It doesn't taste like cheap whiskey that it is.
Okay, yeah, because I never heard of Rebel. Yeah, I'm a Jim Beam kind of guy.
Right. Yeah, normally that's
Jack Daniels, and there's another. I forget the name of the other whiskey I
Old Granddad's Wild Turkey.
No.
Southern Comfort.
There you go. Yeah. Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
Those 3. Yeah. I know those are the mainstream brands, so I'm sure if I ever visit, you know, the some of the states that are proud of their whiskey, I'll be more than happy to try some because I'm a whiskey man myself.
Oh yeah. Well, when you go, if you've ever seen Justified, they always make references to I'm not going to remember. Jeff, you know this one. Pappy something. What is that whiskey? I mean, it's like expensive stuff. Pappy Van Winkle.
Happy Van Winkle.
Yeah, Pappy Van Winkle.
That sounds like the kind that will knock you out and you wake up 20 years.
Dude,
20 years later.
Yeah, right.
What's going on?
Even the
they have Van Winkle in it.
There's tiers. There's like $3,000 bottles of this stuff, and then there's $100 bottles of this stuff, and you know, it's like, oh, this is the last from when, you know, the distillery burned down in 1900 or whatever. But Pappy Van Winkle, they talk about that a lot. And I was surprised.
I'm going to look for that brand. Try that one out.
Yeah. Okay, so I took a page out of your book, as long as we were talking about Twitter and stuff, and it's a long and arduous process of where I'm unfollowing political stuff with my ID crisis, and I don't even know if I know your other. If you have two, you know what the other one?
I know the Twitter shut that second one down.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did.
You must have been out.
Yeah. I was aggressive. I was really aggressive in my second one, and they I think what they did was they wanted to verify my phone number, and they locked it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a second, like, when did you start asking for numbers? Because I have my obviously my comic book one, and it never once asked me for my phone number to verify that it's me.
Yeah.
So I think I think maybe some of the celebrities I went after
Oh,
or
you're going
added,
to celebrities, yeah.
they probably didn't like what I tweeted at them, so they
Well,
probably
when you
complained to
originally
Twitter.
set it up, I'm sorry, when you originally set it up, there's like those tick boxes that are, these are your interests and stuff. Did you do
Yeah,
those? That's
I
probably
did.
why they asked for your number. Oh, I'm
Well,
interested in politics. And
yeah, that's what I did. Well, politics,
I want to follow
I think it was politics, entertainment, and books was I
Yeah.
chose, and I had it was a picture of Malcolm X,
That was
and
your
I kind
avatar?
of did what if Malcolm X was alive and he had Twitter? Well, how would he do it? And so I just approached it in the same
Yeah.
manner of like straight out, not afraid to say it. And if I get banned, it's all good. It's a throwaway account, so it doesn't really matter. So eventually,
you familiar with a lot of his stuff? Like read a lot of
oh,
his.
I was for a few years. I was really I was like a Malcolm X scholar, like
No
because
kidding.
when you're at school, they teach you about Martin Luther King, and they kind of
Right.
At least the school the district that I came from, they like revered Martin Luther King, which is fine, but they kind of treated Malcolm X like a footnote in my history classes.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until maybe when I was 24, 25, when I watched, I happened to stumble upon a clip of Malcolm X speaking in the TV show. And I guess the host was asking what his real name was.
Yeah.
And he said, my real name is Malcolm X. Like, that's my name, X.
Yeah.
And then he started going on about, pretty much how my ancestors, they didn't know their real names and all that stuff. And I was like, hey, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So then I started looking into him more and more, and I realized, like, wow, Malcolm X was actually the realest one of the two. Like, he was the one that was straight. Like, he was obviously in the first half of his life, he was a racist, black nationalist who he was a separatist. In other words, he said black people should just create their own communities and keep the white man out, and that's that. We'll be happy, and then you can have your communities, and as long as you're separated, we're good.
Like a little microeconomy.
Yeah, like a microeconomy, exactly. But then he left Nation of Islam, I'm sure, as you know, because he found out that the head of Nation of Islam at the time was pretty much impregnating 14-year-olds, 15-year-old girls.
I do. I remember that. I didn't see the whole. I didn't see the whole thing, but I did see some stuff, and it was like years ago. Nickelodeon had a really good show that had to do with history and things like that, and they actually put Malcolm X next to Martin Luther King.
Oh, okay.
And they there's like a comparison thing. It was really good. It was a long time ago. I mean, way back when slime was new.
Oh, okay. So it was like when Nickelodeon was about to cross over to just pure children's television shows.
80s Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he went to he visited Mecca, and when he came back from Mecca, that's when he became the most dangerous. Like he became he realized when because he wrote journals. He wrote a journal which I think one of his daughters published a few years ago. There was a big hoopla about it, and some other family members blocked it, but then they resolved it, and now they were able to produce it.
Right.
And so his journals do talk about how when he arrived there, he was surprised at how many people from various walks of life were in Mecca that were Muslim.
Right.
White, black, Asian. He was surprised that he saw a few Asian people there walking to the Kaaba, around the Kaaba, whatever it's called. And he realized then that, we're all human. We're humanity. Like, we're all human beings, just have different exteriors. But in reality, deep down, we all bleed red. We all have a life. We all share a life. We're all facing the same struggles. And that's when he started going after the international system. That's when he got, like I say, became more dangerous. And I think once he started talking about that,
I think globalism for what it is.
Yeah. And then when he started talking about that, that's when they got rid of him.
Right. Well,
he became too dangerous. Yeah.
Gosh, I remember, what was that president that we had that kept talking about globalism? Oh yeah, Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. America first. Well, we can't have that.
Yeah.
We got to work towards that one world government so that Christ can come back. Well, wait.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I mean, when you look at it,
the way that he reacted to that, I'm like, great, it's coming.
Yes, that's the weird part, because when you really look at the big picture of that, it's gonna lead to that. if you're a Christian, if you're through the Christian perspective, even
Eternal
Islam,
perspective, right?
yeah, even Islam believes the same thing. They believe that Christ is going to return as the Messiah. So, and they have almost this, not exactly.
They're actually when you look at Islamic eschatology versus Christian eschatology, they're flipped.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's really weird. Like the Messiah is supposed to come out of the ground, out of an abyss.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's weird.
Really?
It's one of those things where I don't look at it as like who's right and who's wrong. I just look at it as like this is just what it is, man. This is what they believe.
Right.
Like it doesn't necessarily mean that I believe it. It just means that this is what they believe, and this is the information that's out there.
Sorry, at the moment I'm listening to. I mean, not like right now, but it's a book from 2011, The Islamic Antichrist.
Oh wow! Yeah, the Dajjal. They call him the Dajjal.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Dajjal is like, I guess it means covering with like tar, with blackness, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and interesting enough, when Muhammad was alive and they asked him about the end times,
yeah,
he I guess he spoke about the Antichrist too, and he said that I'll tell you one. I guess according to Islam anyway, he told his followers that I'll tell you one thing about the Antichrist, and that is he's going to have one eye.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. I know that there's supposed to be there would be an attempt on his life, and he comes back, or is supposed to come back from the dead, or perform that kind of a miracle.
Right. Yeah.
I think I remember. Isn't it Archon of Assad who has a pharaoh type character as his avatar looks like Nimrod.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. He did have that.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. It's crazy. It's
I was like, all right. I think that because all I was looking for was somebody to describe to me what the alt-right did or didn't believe in. This is like a couple of years ago. I just kept hearing the name over and over again. And the only title of any video that made it seem like I was going anywhere near the right place was one of his. So when I was looking at the artwork for his channel, I'm like, oh, and you know what I mean? Like I'm looking for what alt-right is supposed to be. But then that avatar made me go, like, do a double take. You know, like, oh, this guy might know a little bit more about, you know, end times religiosity than
right.
You know, than I thought.
It's a very interesting subject for sure.
God's horror show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Talk about a horror show. Yeah. It's just something that I hope
be a little bad.
Yeah, never to witness if it is true, you know, because I'm not entirely sold on it yet, because I'm not really a Christian. I'm not a practicing Christian or a practicing Muslim for that matter. I'm just a writer I'm just a writer trying to find, you know, inspiration from all avenues of life.
Yeah, don't damn me to an eternity. I'm just the piano player.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I came on here because I heard the second half of your Invincible.
Oh yeah, did you watch
the second half?
No. I'm sorry. I mean, did you watch do you have Amazon? Are you watching the series?
Oh yeah, man. I when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, I'm watching this because I was a fan of the comic. I didn't get too into the comic book because it was, you know, typically with me, if a series goes on and on, I tend to stop buying the book because you end up with like 5 or 6 long boxes of these comics, and it's not very good to like move them around when you have to move to new places and whatnot. So,
I didn't realize that. So that was the what do you call it? That's your motivation to not collect, is that something bad will happen, or there's just, or you're probably in a moment in time in your life where you were not very stuck in one spot.
I think the moment when my wife and I do purchase a home and we find a home, we are going to stay there for years and years, and I might get back into it again and make a space and collect my comics. And
right
for a while there, before the pandemic hit, I was thinking about doing actively treasure hunting and flipping them on eBay, but then COVID hit and didn't work out because I had developed relationships with other sellers in trade shows because I was a repeat customer. So whenever I came back, they would always be, oh, hey, I got some few issues of some of the books that you're looking like Swamp Thing, for instance, like Alan Moore Swamp Thing. I will always say, hey, if you're finding any of these books, any of the originals, please let me know and I'll take them off your hands. And sure enough, he would be like, oh yeah, I got a collection, man. It's here it is. Like I got a few Swamp Things, $2 each. I was like, sweet. Grab a stack of them, give them cash, and go home and read them because I like reading back issues of old 80s and 70s because I always am fascinated with the ads,
right?
Fascinated with the letters, the people who wrote letters into the books, and like have I guess not a different perspective, but a historical perspective of how people read comics back in the day, and it was mainly children, obviously, mainly teenagers and children. Where in the 90s it became more adult.
Jeff and I had a friend in high school who, I mean, he was into comics. In fact, I was introduced to Bernie, to the work of Bernie Wrightson through this cat.
Oh yeah,
and
Wrightson.
Yeah, and I'm like a Frazetta geek. It was like sometimes like a Miller Lite commercial. Tastes great, less filling. Tastes great, less filling. But he had, with his family, gone on a vacation to New York, and they were in the Marvel building. And again, this is like, the 80s. So
wow. Okay.
It was cool. It was still,
I bet it was.
It was still running.
Yeah.
But he's
like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. So, but he went in and somebody was working on a Marvel. It wasn't like a new book. It was something where they were like rehashing an old story or something like that. And the guy said, "Did you want to ink a couple of lines?" And he goes, "Sure." I don't remember who it was, but he inked 3 speed lines, and he bought the book and came and showed it to us. I go, "Well, where?" It was stupid. It's kind of like like you saw like the first time somebody kisses a girl and everybody's sitting around in a circle going, "What was it like? What was it like?" He's got the book open and I go, "Well, they're just speed lines, like motion lines, like that on the character." And I look at these 3 lines, and they're kind of squiggly. You know what I mean? Like a speed line is supposed to be like a nice.
Yeah.
And I go, they're kind of squiggly. I go, why did you like they're squiggly like that? I go, why did you make them like that? He goes, I wanted to be able to see which ones they were when I bought the book.
Hey, that's smart.
I guess I know. Yeah. It was like working, like it was working. It was like the book was kind of like a rerun thing. It was
like I did that. I did that page.
Yeah, right. I ruined that book. Exactly. What's up, Heroinberg?
Hey, good evening. I was over with RJ, and so I decided to jump over here.
Well, cool. Thank you very much.
Are you guys still talking Invincible, or are you on to something else?
No, we're about to get into that. We always get sidetracked.
Back to it.
Yeah, you're going back. Oh, okay. Good.
No, I mean, we can go back. It was basically the whole thing for me was basically a little bit of a crank fest, a bitch fest, because they're
really
I like talking
to a big you're talking to one of the world's biggest Adam Eve fans, so here we go.
Okay. I liked Adam Eve.
The best superheroine of the 21st century, I think. The best new female hero, I think.
Oh, there you
go. Okay. I'm sorry, my brother's in the comments. Okay, you wanted to let me know what time it was so I would know how long what's taking.
Oh.
No, he's like, it's 9:51. I'm like, I know, we're in the same time zone and I have a clock.
We are.
Anyways, so monkey shoulders, a blended scotch. All right. Kind of like J and B is a blended scotch. All right. Okay. Yeah, us, Heroinberg, we were actually onto this other thing too. Like I had just finished painting these.
Yeah, real nice.
And we got on the subject of what was in them, and so that was like a little bit of an aside.
I see. Those look great.
Wow. Where are you
in a drag race show or what?
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, the traffic is. Sometimes the traffic in front of my place is quite loud. I sorry about that.
No, I know, but you're out near me, so I'm like, are you at like the Pennsylvania Speedway?
Not really, but people do rev their motorcycles.
That's a nice summertime sound. Okay, so yeah, I'm all about Adam Eve because I think she's a much better character and a nicer girl than that crotch Amber.
Well, okay. Yeah, Amber really expected a whole lot of Mark, didn't she? Like even more than in the comic. Like he just couldn't he couldn't win for losing with that one. But
Well, this is a good question for you. Where does she show up in the comic? Because
pretty early. So okay, I've watched the whole thing and I tracked each issue and where it appeared. And what they did with the comic is they jumped all the way to issue 20 to get stories.
Yeah.
The story where Mark and William visit the campus, and then the guy has the techno zombies beneath the campus. That's from issue 20, all the way in 20. So they were cherry picking. Also, the trip to Mars was issue 18. So they were cherry picking stuff, and then basically they bookended it with the fight with Omni-Man. I mean, I'm sure I'm not spoiling it for anyone at this point.
Right.
But the fight with Omni-Man is back in 12. So they jumped ahead and cherry picked stories from further ahead and put them in the middle, and then finished the season with the incredible fight with Omni-Man, just really great. And that was issue 12. So
you're way more versed on this than I am.
I have the first 2 omnibuy, I guess is the plural. So I have the first 100 issues, and I've read the whole thing. I have a bunch of TPBs from the last 50 as well. So I read the whole thing. I know how it ends, but
I have volumes 1 through 9 of the graphic novels.
You have 1 through 9 of the graphic novels? Yeah, I have all those. Yeah.
For number 8. So when you say, because when I open up volume 2, that's when I see the trip to college. That's when I see his friend William going, how come the girls in high school aren't this hot?
Are you sure? I was pretty sure.
What I'm saying is like volume 2 in the graphic novel. I don't know if that lands us in the floppies. Okay, I know. Like, I don't know why you're laughing at this. I mean, I do know why you're laughing at this. I would be laughing at this too, because it's not nerd. It's not necessarily nerd stuff, but it's like what I was talking about before. Like, why change the character to the point where
the character of Amber?
No, the character of William.
Oh yeah, they did some changes.
They did some stuff. It says so
they did some changes to Amber. They did some changes to William. They put in that train scene, which doesn't exist in the comics anywhere. I'm speculating that there was a little bit of boys' envy there, that they really wanted to trump the boys and do something which would like Omni-Man could tell Homelander, hold my beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because that train scene exists nowhere in the comics, and that's really something they added. It was really great, and it really made Omni-Man like the worst person ever.
He sees the death and destruction coming at him and around him.
Yeah, exactly. But it was not in the comics, and I think that was maybe a response to the boys, because people are obviously making comparisons to the level of violence in both, you know.
Right.
And I think that's going to continue. I'm really interested to see how far Jupiter's Legacy takes things.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is the thing where I start to do a stream, and then somebody who actually knows what they're talking about comes on.
I actually enjoyed it myself. I was a really big fan of the series. It was a great, strong first season, and you know the way you got to remember this ID crisis when you license out something that you created that yourself, when you only have the artist to work with, and other more cooks, I guess you could say, come into the picture and they start to pitch ideas to you. Like, hey, here's what we want to present it. Here's how we want to present it. What do you think? And he has to kind of, I guess you could say, play ball if he wants to get this show on air. Because Invincible was I remember it was a top selling comic book.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like a very hot comic book. Yeah. It was close to being canceled. And I guess the story goes that I think it was like issue 10 or 11 or something like that. Jim Valentino told Kirkman, look, dude, we're going to cancel this book. It's not selling as we thought it was going to sell. And he's like, well, I got this idea for like the twist, you know, like this it's going to pay off. He's like, well, do it now because you ain't going to see no more than issue 12. Right. And that was the Omni-Man, the Omni-Man story. That was
Right,
he had a.
right.
I guess he wanted to present that in issue like 18 or 20 or something like that, and he had to push it. He had to push it forward to the front for issue 12, and that's when the story took place, according to I think it was Robert Kirkman when he was interviewed. I forgot who interviewed him about it, but yeah, Invincible was. I like that they stayed true to the look, the aesthetic of it.
Yeah,
and that's what hooked me. I was like, I'm glad they did it animated style.
It looks like it's like when you watch Fire and Ice in 1983. It looks like a moving Frazetta painting.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And then this is the same thing. They stayed really true to the. It's like that. All the lines. There's no variation in the ink work, which at one point I thought it was kind of simplistic when I first opened it. But then I'm like, well, man, they got. It's you got used to it, and then you expected it, and then you couldn't wait to see it.
It was also a form to hook new viewers and introduce new viewers to Invincible, because my wife had never heard of the comic book. She doesn't read comics, so when I was watching the first episode and she kind of like glanced over and she was like, "Oh, that's a cute little cartoon. What is this, like a kid's cartoon?" It was right before the Omni-Man scene when he kills the Guardians. So when she saw that scene, she was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
what the hell is this?"
And meanwhile, you're like, "That's the perfect shade."
Yeah, and after that, she was hooked. She was like, "Is there any more of this?" I'm like, "Yeah, next week. It's a whole new season." She was like, "Oh, okay, I'm definitely gonna watch this one." So,
yeah,
so
it is.
They hooked her.
It's a nice twist, and I like that. That where the kid's waiting. That he's waiting to be a superhero, and he knows it's going to happen. His dad has told him. It's just like, okay. All right, so I'm sorry. I was getting tweets from upstairs. I have to watch my volume. Somebody's going to bed at.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's going to be mean a little bit too. I start my my early hours tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that. But we're still having fun so far. That reminds me, Herwenberg. I ran into Colin's place, and I thought I was getting issue 2 of The Edge, and he gave me a variant cover of number 1. I didn't even look at it. I just gave him my money and put it in the bag.
Oh, The Edge. Well, that's Marvin's, but nonetheless.
No, I know whose is whose.
Right.
I got your issue 2. My daughter loves it.
Oh, really?
Like,
Great.
where'd it go? And I'm like, oh, this is.
Am I allowed to ask how old your daughter is?
She's a freshman in high school.
Oh, okay, right. I was going to say, yeah, it's perfect for definitely for college age folks. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even like. There was a.
I mean, we're PG-13, so I wouldn't give it to a 9-year-old. No.
I mean, she's old enough, but she understands what comic books are and what they mean. It's but it's the point that I was trying to make. And I don't know if it was this show that I was watching or if it was another one that I was trying to point out to. My family's watching it with me, and I'm like, the reason I have a problem with what they're doing is because somebody might say, well, it's just a TV show. Why are you getting upset because they're doing this or doing that? I'd be like, because there's a human being on the other side of that pen who's putting their ideas down for this reason or that reason. And when you don't, first of all, is it necessary? Like, tell me if you can, since you're more well versed in the character of Amber, what is she like in the comic book? Nicer, or is she the manipulative narcissist that she is in the show?
Oh, yeah, I think she's more developed in the comic. She has more aspects and facets of her personality.
Right.
I mean, you do wait for. I mean, if you read the whole arc, Amber is gone. Like I'm not revealing any really big things. Amber is just gone after a certain point. So more than anything else, I think my strategy is we just have to push through Amber and get to the end of the Amber thing, because obviously for most of this entire run of 144 issues, you have what is the greatest couple in 21st century comics, Mark and Eve. All right. That is a thing. I mean, by the end, there's a kid, all kind of stuff. So let's just say this. I'm gonna say let's just push through Amber. We'll enjoy the Amberness while it's there, and then we'll move on. And hopefully solidly by the middle of season 2, and certainly by seasons 3, we're gonna have incredible outer space adventures with all kinds of aliens. We're gonna have Seth playing Alan the alien more and more. right? As
I like his character. I liked his character in the book too.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what you disagree or agree with certain points, opinions Seth Rogen has on his Twitter, whatever, like he did an amazing job advocating for this to be created. I mean, originally they were thinking of doing live action, right? I don't know if that's going to ever happen or not, but that was the original thing they were trying to do was a movie, right? And I assume that would have been live.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I was talking about was that dynamic, where there's been controversy over, and I believe it was Scarlett Johansson, or was it either Scarlett Johansson or it was Ashley Judd.
With regards to what?
They were supposed to have an acting role as a trans person, and it was like a huge issue because the person who's supposed to be act in that role should be a trans person. Or who's the guy from Breaking Bad? Bryan
Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah, he was supposed to be in a role as a paraplegic, and they're like, well, no, that is somebody who's differently abled should be in that role. So when I was looking at who was doing the voice acting, IMDb for Invincible, it's because what Mark's mom is Asian.
Sandra Oh
doing the voice.
Sandra Oh, yeah.
Mark Yoon is doing the voice for
Stephen Yoon, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. What did I say, Mark? Yeah.
Stephen Yoon plays Mark, right?
Right. But all the way down the line, it's the white person is voicing the white character, black person voicing the black character, and it seemed like it reminded me of that whole thing where no, you have to be this in order to do this role. But if you're talking about it was going to be a movie, then it makes even more sense that they would actually do something like that because somebody has to play this part. You know what I mean? Like if Amber's a black girl, then you would have a black girl doing the. So maybe they had the casting all worked out for a live action thing, and whenever they said it was going to go to animation.
Well, Amber's not black in the comic, but
right.
As far as that goes, I've been waiting for a good 4 years. I saw the announcement for the live action thing like four-ish years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, live action or movie, whatever it was going to be. It was going to be a movie originally, and then it started becoming a series. But in any case, yeah, good job for Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and Kirkman for fulfilling pretty much the comic book vision. When you have somebody who did the comic book, whether it's Jeff Johns on Stargirl or Garth Ennis on The Boys, when you have them, kind of supervising things, even back to, I know not a lot of people saw this, and I wish it would be re-released. Brian Michael Bendis was on the set of the Powers TV show years ago. Have you seen the two seasons of that? It's great. It really is like a proto version of The Boys and Invincible. Like
went out for a second there. What show?
Powers.
Oh, okay.
The show that was on the PlayStation Network or whatever that nobody saw, but should be it should be re-released. It would fit really well with the general atmosphere and zeitgeist of superhero shows now, indie superhero shows with Jupiter's Legacy. They really, really should find a way to re-release the 2 seasons of Powers. And anyway, my point is that worked as well because Brian Michael Bendis was on set a lot, supervising as well. So whenever you have a show that the creator who did the comics is closely involved with it, yes. I think it works much better.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's you'd be tearing the heart out of it otherwise.
Yeah. Now those 4 are good examples of that for me.
When I look it up on IMDb, I'm looking at Charlotte Copley as the lead. Is that the show you're talking about?
Yes, Charlton Copley was the lead. Yeah, he was he was the main guy, and there was an older retro woman and a younger retro girl, and I forget the others right now. It's been a while, but what was that? 2014 or something, I think.
2015 is what they say. 2015 and 16, but you're saying
it
was
15 and 16
the network.
It was on the very short-lived PlayStation Network, and then when that collapsed, it went to Crackle for a while.
Oh, okay.
And then it just disappeared off the map. It just fell into the memory hole, and nobody remembers it. It's an excellent show, all 2 seasons, and I really wish they would put it out, even if it's
if it's as good as you say it is, and they can keep putting one season of Firefly on Hulu or Netflix.
Yeah, they need to put it on Tubi, like Black Scorpion. The Black Scorpion series is on Tubi, so anybody can see that, right? And that's one of my favorite '90s superhero shows.
I've been watching a little bit more of Tubi. They seem to. I mean, if you can get around the commercials, which at some point watching commercials is going to be nostalgic.
I guess, yeah.
If they put these commercials in there,
I'm used to it. So when I watch my CW shows, such as they are, right?
Yeah.
I watch them streaming right off of their website, and they do have their commercials. So you just grab a piece of pizza or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's time to go.
I hate commercials. I make no bones about that. I hate commercials. I wish they would just go extinct.
They used to be creative.
Even when they were creative, I still hated it.
Yeah. Now commercials just tick boxes, a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've noticed, past couple of years, commercials are really good at ticking boxes. Really good at it.
Well, that's it seems to be that's what that's you know what you basically that's the phrase that I was kind of like looking for, ticking boxes. Mm-hmm. That's what it seems like they were doing with the with the characters in this comic book. Like there's no need to make William gay. That doesn't advance anything. And if you're going to have Mark preparing for a first study date, and when his buddy comes over and says, read this left-wing person, and throws Ta-Nehisi Coates into the mix.
I know. Yeah.
I know it's just probably just a personal hang-up of mine.
Right.
If you're going to say in something.
Okay. You're correct, but the thing is, I would say that overall, that is kept to a minimum in the series in the first season. And the only real egregious name drops are in episode 3, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, right. But like you were saying, the character of the see, this actually makes me want to go collect the book, like go back and go through the long boxes down there at Collins Place or find the other volumes of stuff, because I want to see. I know this sounds terrible, and I'm a bad guy for saying this. I want to see Amber go away. I want to see the panic that it happens.
Oh boy, there are 3. I believe there are 3 omnibuses, so you can just get 3 50-issue omnibuses and be done with it, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right, and then I'll trade you. I'll trade you these.
Well, I have the first 2. I don't have the third one.
Yeah. Well, there's so much stuff down there. It's going in there is like a gambling addict going to Vegas for me. You know what I mean? Like, I got all my bills paid. I should probably throw something into savings or buy more crypto, but screw that. I've got holes in my collection.
Crypto. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like things that you should do with your money, and then
right.
I'm in. Whenever I go into Pittsburgh Comics, there's just it's not even. You look around and there's all this creative energy happening, and all these ideas, and even the way that it all smells. You know what I mean? It's like I don't get in there enough.
The couple of times I've been there, I enjoyed it just because he has such an immense indie selection, and if I wanted to make a beeline for the Avatar Boundless shelf, I could do that. Like that's not something you can do in many stores. So, if I wanted to get Helena, I could get that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and even on the, like, I don't want to keep them there forever, just talking to one person about the way the whole industry goes, but I bounce the things that I hear about the way the comic book industry, not the comic book industry itself, but what the store owners are dealing with. Mm-hmm. I'll listen to your boy Zach talk about the way the shipping works and stuff, and the other professionals that I hear over YouTube who are like in the industry, and then bounce it off the one guy that I know who has not only stayed alive during this whole thing, but it doesn't look any different in there. I've never gone into Pittsburgh Comics. Julius, if you knew how close this place was to my house, you'd be slapping me in the face for not going there more often. But it's not hard. It's not hard to get to. But it seemed I've never heard.
And this is in a
He doesn't whine
This is
about
in a Pittsburgh suburb. This is in a
Yeah, this isn't, it's not
the far Pittsburgh suburb.
Yeah, it's not Ides. I haven't been there since I was at the Art Institute. But Ides, it's still down there, isn't it? Down by the Greyhound station.
We don't talk about Ides.
It's been so
yeah.
long.
No, Ides is there. Ides is there. I just don't talk about it.
Okay. Okay. Well, if
wait, how come? I'm curious. Now you piqued my.
Well, when I went there. No, it's okay. I'll
we have our.
No, go ahead. Is it?
We have our four. Well, okay. I'm not going to go beyond saying that Ides is one of 3 stores in Western Pennsylvania that does not carry our book, and the reasons for that are like decades old. Yeah.
Personal.
So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. The other 2 are, well, actually, there's 4. I'm sorry, there's 4 stores in all of Western Pennsylvania that don't carry our book. The rest do, and so I just generally want to be positive, and I want to say that our big stores are New Dimension, Phantom, Heroes Inc., and Geekadrome, and yeah, I mean there's others that are supportive too, but those are the 4 big ones. And
I see.
So,
sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, and I don't know where's New Dimension at.
New Dimension has 6 stores, 5 in Western Pennsylvania and 1 in Ohio.
Okay.
The one near us is in Homestead on the Waterfront Mall, and in fact, the New Dimension guys are also responsible for the only comics-oriented Comic-Con in Pittsburgh for the past few years. And
they are basically sponsor it.
Yeah, 3 Rivers, and they are returning to live Comic-Cons on May 22nd and 23rd.
And I hope I'm not doing anything.
Pennsylvania, being a blue state, has had some medium restrictions, not as draconian as New York or California. But at this point, the guys at New Dimension felt they could do a safe Comic-Con outside under a few dozen tents in front of their place in the parking lot, which is a huge parking lot. So that's what they're going to do. They're calling it Three Rivers Comic-Con Light because I guess it's exposed to the sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
It's not inside the old
L-I-G-H-T, not L-I-T-E.
No, it's L-I-T-E, but, maybe a double entendre. But, because they usually would hold it in a mall building or in the old Macy's, but this time they're holding it outside. Yeah, I mean, the New Dimension guys do a really good service by having that con every year. And, it's pretty cool. And,
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to try to get there this year.
That's cool.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the 22nd or 23rd because we have we have a 2-table system. It's called Comicsburg, and it's not just going to be us. It's going to be Marvin and about 6 or 7 other comics creators uniting to share 2 tables. To just promote all indicators in Pittsburgh and what they're doing. Including a couple of our interior artists are going to have their other books out on the tables. For example, Wayne Brown, who's one of our interior artists on Heroinburg, he draws and colors a comic book for the past 7 issues called Like Father, Like Daughter, which is by Kat Kalamia from New York. She has a really good YouTube channel called Comic Uno that's been going on for a long time. And her book is kind of like Invincible meets Stargirl, I guess.
Okay.
And Wayne is going to be there signing that book and our book as well. And a bunch of other guys too. And one of our actresses also has a comic book out. Her name is Mauricia. She has a book called Music Maker. And so
is Catherine Kalima you're talking about?
Yes, Catherine Kalamia is the creator of Like Father, Like Daughter, an excellent superhero comic. And Wayne is the artist for it. And he also draws for us too.
Right. Yes. There's a link. I got Ghetto Dragon and your Heroinburg link and Kickstarter in the chat real quick. Let's see.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Brave tab.
You already have that? I don't have to. Okay.
Oh, I'm trying to. There. Is that it?
I see it. That's awesome.
Where'd it go? Yeah, that is nice. Father with superpowers leaves his wife and daughter to become invulnerable, not invincible.
Right. That's why I'm saying it's a little bit like Stargirl meets Invincible because the Stargirl thing is is because of the daughter, offshooting from Starman, right? And then the Invincible part of it is, well, she has a dad, and her dad's name is Invulnerable. You know what I mean? So it's kind of obvious. But yeah, it's a father-daughter story, and she just put out a TPB, which I crowdfunded, and I got that, and I got issue 6 as well. So right now, I believe issue 7 is being worked on by Wayne, and you see Wayne Brown's name right there, yeah. And there are some cool variants. So that's Catherine Kalamia's book, and Wayne Brown does the art.
This is really good right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very nice.
Dramatic lighting. Cleaner brown, more. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, I like that. I like that painting style. That's cool. That's cool.
These guys,
I think Moore is
questions I have.
think Moore is just the.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Moore is just the letterer. I think Brown does both the art and the colors.
Yeah. It's an interesting style, very expressive in the the facial expressions. But
yeah, Wayne did a good job with our book. It looks similar,
Mm-hmm.
I made him draw a lot more spandex and capes on our end of things, but he's fine with that.
How are you guys doing with the filming? I see on YouTube every once in a while. I see
wow.
It's
Okay.
either a behind the scenes thing or it's
Well, we are done. Not done, but we're done with episode 19. We released it last Wednesday. That's big news because it took us 4 months to film and then edit. So yeah, and it's so long, just like episode 18, that we cut it in 2 parts that are about 25 minutes apiece. So, every episode is a literal TV show, like a live action comic book, like watching Electro Woman and Dinah Girl or Black Scorpion or Stargirl, whatever. And so yeah, would you like to see the trailer for episode 19 while I'm here?
Why not? Is it up on YouTube? Yeah,
yeah. Well, I can. Sure, if you want to just go to our YouTube channel, or I can find it too.
I'm already there. Sorry, I want to share the screen.
Yeah, it says episode 19 trailer. All you got to do is share the screen and pump up the volume. Dance, dance. Don't.
Harrenberg episode 19 parts 1 and 2, or just
sorry, I'm so 80s.
No. I heard that one. I got stuck in the back of a bus on the way to. It was a school bus on the way to a VICA meeting in the Catskill Mountains, and all the girls want to play their dance music. That was a huge one.
Oh, really? Yeah, I have that 12-inch. It's fun.
Okay, so Harrenberg episode 19, parts 1 and 2, or the trailer? We're looking
trailer.
Harrenberg trailer. Videos, playlists. Prepare to be assimilated. Where's the freaking trailer at? Videos.
It's the one. It's the one just before Prepare to be assimilated is a character intro for episode 20. We have a female Ultron coming.
Well, okay. Episode 20, Mesmer is on the loose. Dark Spectre threatens Diva. You've got a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, episode 19 trailer is right there. It's the second. It's the second to newest clip.
Okay, because that says parts 1 and 2.
Yeah, parts 1 and 2. Yeah.
All right. I didn't want to. I thought I was playing like a whole thing.
No.
Wait, get the break.
Yeah, we're not seeing it.
No, I know. I'm getting there.
We're boomering a little bit. That's okay. There you go. Share and share alike.
Is that too loud?
No, not really.
She's shooting out laser beams, taking over computer screens. She puts her costume on, and she's feeling super strong. When deadly threats attack, she'll be ready to strike back. She's living in Harrenberg.
All right. Well, that was most of it. There you go.
Oh, cool. I know. We can do it again.
Oh, there you go.
She's living in Harrenberg. Never mind what you heard. Superheroine is the word. She's living fantastic dreams. She's shooting out lasers. laser beams, taking over computer screens. She puts her costume on and she's feeling super strong. When deadly threats attack, she'll be ready to strike back. She's living in Heroinburg.
That artwork reminds me of somebody, an artist I saw like long time ago. His name was Les Toil. Like Les Toil, but just split. I know it's something I saw like a long time ago, but it's really reminiscent the way that the digital artwork is done. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted for a little bit. That specific artwork, all you saw, the artwork you see on my avatar, right? The cover and the artwork you saw in the trailer, that's all by Jason Wright. Jason Wright is the person who lives in Pittsburgh who is the most prolific in the industry ever. He has over 650 credits from 1996 onward, mostly with DC, but some with Marvel and Valiant as well. He's a colorist primarily for DC, and he just finished coloring the 12-issue Metal Men series for Shane Davis and Dan DiDio. So,
right, yeah, I heard Shane talking about finally getting out of that thing. No, I mean
getting out of
like so he could like concentrate on Starlight Cats.
Well, Metal Men finished. It was just a 12-issue series.
That's what I mean. I'm sorry, I just mean like it was. I remember him in a stream talking about like I've got to finish the episode, or I've got to finish this 12th edition so that I can like finish the contract and get on to Starlight Cats.
Right, exactly. He was probably prohibited from. I mean, he was probably time-wise, he was probably not able to do Starlight Cats until he finished the last issue of Metal Men. But he's done with that now. They're all out, right? And so at this point, after doing all kinds of coloring work for DC, Green Lantern, Batgirl, Secret Six, all those things, Jason is waiting for his next DC assignment. But in the meantime, he has been doing some cards for EVS that go with the campaign. And from what I understand, he may be doing Shane's next project after Starlight Cats. We don't know what that is yet, but we'll see.
That's good.
Yeah, all of that is Jason's art. So,
see that we got Julius who's doing writing duties on my book. I'll be drawing it, and then I'm totally tucking. I'm totally tucking that information in the back of my head. There's a out there, and he's a local.
Wait, Julius, are you guys both from the Western Pennsylvania area?
No, I'm from California.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was. We met on 656, right?
Yeah, I think we didn't meet in the 656. We met at
page one. It was a page one stream.
Page one, yes, page one, the YouTube channel.
I was looking for writers and Julius knowing absolutely nothing about me. And yeah,
volunteered to help you write your idea.
It's coming along. In fact, as soon as I jump off of here, I'm going to go and try to lay out some more pages. There was like the other day, I got home and I'm like, I've got some time. I'm inspired. I'm going to get my get these panels laid out on this other page, and I was out of the paper that I use for that. Like it's got the comic book on. It's got the little sketch thing on the one side and then the lines on the other. I only had one left. And I was like, I'm going to use this one. I got to get copies tomorrow when I'm at work. I'm like, all right. So I had to work on something else. But there's a ton of stuff. Half of what you see back here is projects that have been forgotten about. But man, I'm glad you guys came on. It's always a good time.
It was a good time.
And I am absolutely positive by the time I get off of this thing and go upstairs, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 different subjects that I forgot to touch on. But I mean, it's fortunate. Heroinburg comes on. He's apparently the resident expert in Invincible. I wish he would have come on like right when I started because
sorry, I was on RJ's thing for a while.
A lot of shit about that girl in this comic book that I absolutely can't stand. And you would have been able to be like digitally pat me on the head and go, "Don't worry, Dave. She's going to be good."
Yeah, she'll be gone soon. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Go through it.
You won't have to put up with that. But yeah. So I want to really quick, since I don't even know if can you, either one of you guys, you're familiar with streaming, answer me the question. When it tells you how many people are watching, that doesn't include the people that are in the stream, right?
Good question.
Because if it did, because there's only one other person watching right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't know how that works, but
that might be me.
I always assume
that
it's
might
always
be me.
That might be you watching.
Yeah, someone watching. From
YouTube. wait! I think I know what it is. Watch
or
this.
on YouTube, I should say.
Watch this. Okay, because I closed my YouTube window of me watching. So now that means, okay, I guess we gained a viewer then. I don't know how this works.
That's weird.
Imagine how dangerous I would be if I figured it out. All right, so you guys feel like enjoying the rest of your Sunday night without me?
Yeah, I think that sounds really good, actually.
Okay, well, thanks for thinking about it.
Hey, Julius, it was really nice to meet you, Julius.
Hey, likewise, man. Likewise. I never heard of your book, but now I'll definitely check you out and keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hope to hear more about you in the future. Where do you live in can you give me a city?
Yeah, Orange County.
Okay, yeah, we're trying to get. So here's the story with our book. We have distributed it directly to 130 stores. I don't know anybody else who's done that this year except us. But in any case,
nationally or regionally or
nationally and a little bit internationally. Yeah, just by calling and emailing. So we do have some California stores. It's been tough since, as you know, the stuff has been shut down there. And
yeah.
But
where I'm at, they're open, but they do, obviously mask requirements to enter their stores. They're open but not every day like before.
Yeah.
And their hours are limited, so they're opening up little by little, but they have restrictions when you
enter
their store.
I just got an email from a store in Culver City that said they had to wait another 3 months because they just. They were doing so badly during the shutdowns that they, can't afford to buy indies, and that's a shame. But they'll get back to us. But we do. Maybe our nearest store to you might be one in Fullerton. That's the closest we have now.
Oh yeah, I know that store. That's a very good store.
It's called
it's still there. Yeah,
Comic
it's still
Hero.
there.
Comic Hero University.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Run by Enrique Munoz.
Yeah.
And it's attached to a movie theater, which is interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a great little store. I love that store.
So that's our closest for now. Everything else we have is in Northern Cali.
Oh, hey, as long as you did more than a lot of indie creators to start with. So
up in wine country, and what goes better with a glass of wine than an indie comic book?
Yeah, I like to say we conquered Eureka, California, because we have a store in Eureka, and then we're also a guest appearing on Don Chin and Dan Shaheen's shows. And those guys are both from Eureka, even though they're a little bit diametrically opposed philosophically at times. Nonetheless,
honestly, Erwinberg, that is one of the things that I totally dig about you.
Yes.
But it also makes me because you are so accepting of everybody
that's important.
Well, right.
Very important.
It also makes me go, I don't know if I should say this about this thing that I don't like.
No, it's totally fine. I know which audience at any given time. I know which audience I'm talking to, right? But the most important thing is, as your boy Zach says, is to sell the hot dogs.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sell the hot dogs. You got some hot dogs in your comic book.
Yeah.
That didn't come out right.
Yeah. We got some hot dogs and some tight wrappers. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Herrenberg, are you on Twitter?
Oh yes. Yeah. Yes. Herrenberg 1 for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but that's what it is. Yeah. Basically Herrenberg is a unique title. It doesn't belong to anyone else. No one's thought of it. So anything you search, it'll come up. But yeah, we're on Twitter. We're on Facebook.
Funnily
Twitter,
enough,
Facebook,
I already follow you.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Twitter, Facebook, DeviantArt, and YouTube. That's it. and then our website.
Try DeviantArt. I don't have a DeviantArt account yet.
That
should.
DeviantArt is fun. It's
Yeah.
a different audience. It's
ID
fun.
Crisis. Shame on you. Shame on you for not having one.
I'm not saying I've never been there. I don't have an account there.
Still, like I said, I found some.
I'm not ready yet. There's some odd stuff on DeviantArt
that I've worked with over the years. I found a lot of artists there to that I would just straight up email, hey, are you open for commissions? And a lot of the time they say yes, and I've gotten a few artists from just checking out DeviantArt pages.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a good marketplace. I see they pop up in searches all the time. The one thing that I honestly on one hand, I'm sure that I'll miss it, but on the other hand, I can't wait till November. The lease on my shop space runs out. I won't have to worry about making $400 a month on I got a motorcycle helmet over there that I need to do, and I can just stay in the basement and work on this stuff here and not have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like the custom paint. I like doing these, but you can't make one of these things without a spray booth because of what's on it.
Right.
You can't do that without putting a mask on and whatever. And they're fun, but it's expensive and trying to sell. I'm really looking forward to the experience of trying to sell this book because I know that it's creating it's one thing, but see if you can. The amount of love and passion that you put into your book translates directly to how hard you sell the thing. I'm imagining.
Of course.
Part of it.
Try to get on every single stream that will let you mention it and just shout it from the rooftops. Be absolute. I mean, not to say you can be modest, but loud. No, this is the thing that separates this from everything else. It's one of the nicest tweets that I ever got from anybody was the one that I got from Julius when he said, "I really think you have something here." It's well, really? Like when my accountant told me he really liked my profit and loss sheets. Most people just hand me a box of receipts. I'm like, really? I thought I sucked at accounting.
You just got to keep at it, just like everything else. If you stay on top of it and you keep pushing yourself, eventually, the hard work will pay off. And like I mentioned to you before, the Ghetto Dragon project I've been working on that project for 5-6 years now,
right?
And I'm finally starting to see the fruits of that labor because of considering that I failed in the first crowdfunding campaign, and then had to restart and redo it again, and actually get on streams and get over my I guess paralyzing fear of being in front of a camera and just talking to people live,
right?
And it paid off. It really did.
Right.
I mean, the fact that I was able to raise $1,600 was great. For me. That's a success. For that project. If
it's a profit, it's a profit.
Yeah, exactly, and that helped me fund the printing process. Which, by the way, I sent the books to the printer, so I'm just.
That's what I was figuring. You had a really good review the other day, and I was I figured it was over the digital copy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Oh, check this one out. How about the Last Pantheon, a manga?
Yes,
Magna. Right. Yeah. So I was like all about this book. I want to see this thing. It's like this joke between me and Beyond Comics that thick girls in overalls will sell me every time.
Beyond Time, the Beyond Time guy, John.
Yeah, what did I say? Beyond Comics, Beyond Time. Hey, I'm testing these things out this weekend. All right, I've got an excuse. So I get the what I got in the mail right here. Okay, and I get this in the mail. I'm like, yay, more stuff that I have. Like Preston Acevedo stuff, and there's things that I haven't opened yet. And I love these prints. They're big,
that's nice,
right? And I got on the site. There's our girl, right? And I'm like, where's the book? So before I started going, hey, where's the book to anybody else? I got on I had to go on to the campaign. I had to go onto the campaign page and look and say, maybe I did something wrong. And lo and behold, I did.
Yeah, it's the cover.
I was under the impression that, this is something that I want to do with my own campaign. I don't want to have any perks where the book isn't included. And that's, I guess, what I fell into here was I was getting the art, which I'm happy to have. I'm glad that I have them. I wanted them.
So you only back the perk with the art and not the book?
Right. So I had to go back out and get the book. And I'm like, great, I love it. There's our girl looking exactly the way. No, that
sucks.
What? I know. Well, he's sending the stuff out, I'm sure, but I was just like, I got to make sure that I'm not even reading the fine print. Just read the damn campaign. Like, all right, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that to any of my people. In fact, I mean, in my wildest dreams, because like automobiles are center to the story. In my wildest dreams, I'm thinking like on an EVS level, like is it possible to do custom Hot Wheels? You know what I mean? Like, is it possible to do? I don't know if you guys can see it, like right there, right. These right here are like Von Dutch style Hot Wheels. Let me grab one real quick. I grabbed these at I think it was a Kmart before Kmart was not a thing anymore, but it's like a cool like 59 Cadillac Eldorado.
Yeah.
Now, imagine having the IT bucket in a package like this, getting sent out to,
That'd be cool, man. That'd be a nice little perk. That'd be a nice little perk. Yeah.
It would be. And I don't have I'm going to have to learn so much more, not just about like how to run a campaign, how to run it properly, so that it makes enough money. And then, my biggest problem would be every single one of these things is made in China. And I know a lot of the toy manufacturing stuff is
well,
made.
you could find someone locally or maybe someone within the United States to make you some, and keep them limited. Keep them limited. So maybe you could do like 10, and that's it. And then once the 10 are done, they're done, and only 10 people are going to get that special edition car. And I think that would be a good approach to it, as opposed to mass producing it. Mass producing it would be a different. That would be as Ethan Van Sciver level.
Yeah, on a mass production,
when you raise $1 million,
minimum order, you're going to have like thousands.
Yeah,
and it could be other stuff. I mean, I've got little, pinstripe panels that I could put in there, so that there's something of that grease monkey.
What about a set of I don't know if you maybe you did think of it. What about a set of stickers of I don't know what you call them, pinstripe stickers that you can put on your own car to make it more into a hot rod pinstripe set.
Well, cool. Yeah, and in fact, where am I? Am I in the way of it?
What is the name of your book?
Asphalt.
So turn any car of yours into an asphalt car, right?
Just
applying the decals.
Well, that's the cool thing here is I have a vinyl cutter. I can design and make those things. That is a good idea. I can do that right in house. I can have my vinyl before. But they make all the difference in the world. Like I mean, people put vinyl decals and stuff on their windows all the time. I have one that says "I aim to misbehave." Because it's like the one science fiction show that our entire family got into, like totally geeked out over, was Firefly. And that's just a line from the movie. My wife, one year, she made a stocking stuffer, and she found them online. She didn't want me to make them because then it wouldn't be a surprise to me.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, every one of us has it on our car. I aim to misbehave, which is probably not great. Whenever the lights go on and you got to pull over,
Yeah, right.
You don't understand. It's a TV show, officer.
Unless the cop is a Firefly fan.
Oh yeah, that's why I pulled you over so we could talk.
We could talk Firefly.
Yeah, talk Firefly. How's it going tonight? You weren't on your way to anywhere, were you? yeah, man. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of coming up with perks that you don't see anywhere else or whatever. But first things first. I mean, that's all dreaming. I got to get this thing like figured out and drawn the right way, and I don't see the harm in talking about it before it's finished. That's for sure.
It's always best to to kind of put the seeds out there.
Yeah,
let them grow.
Hashtag asphalt comic.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, new tweet notifications for Razor Fist. Somebody's got my thing on. Oh, I replied to something on the Vicky-verse. She had that picture of her like legs out there on the grass. I don't know if anybody knows who that is on Twitter, but it looked like just judging by the way her legs and her feet looked that she might want to cut down on her salt and alcohol intake. And I replied I replied to the post with that. And now there's like something out there. I need to like figure out exactly what that is. I think it happened. I think it happened, Heroinberg. I opened my mouth and said something, and they're not as nice as you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it would. I would just be. I would consider the audience. Oh, here's another kind of. We don't. We're not doing. We're not doing crowdfunding. We're going direct to stores instead. But if we had, we have T-shirts, stickers, and I put a thing in the chat, private chat. You can go and show people. We met this girl a couple years ago at Comic Cons who does what they call perler magnets. These are basically 8-bit versions of characters.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
From all these universes. She does, DC, Marvel, Pokemon, whatever. And she did every single. This is so nice. Her name is Dr. Pixel. Her real name is oh my gosh, I can't remember right now. But anyway, her name is Dr. Pixel in her superhero name, and she actually did every single Heroinberg character in a Perler Magnet 8-bit version, and we are selling a handful of those on her website, and we actually made a couple sales already, and that's what they look like. If you can see the link there, that's another interesting perk you could put in any campaign that I don't think anybody's thought of. Do you see the page?
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, private. All right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking at the page right now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I
Oh yeah.
Where is she from? Do you know where she's from? Where she's located, or her headquarters?
She's from Pittsburgh.
I'm not for sure, but I think my daughter has a Minecraft diamond as a necklace. Like it's her diamond necklace. Does she do those?
Yeah. This girl does Minecraft characters too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. The reason why I say that is because I met a woman in WonderCon a few years ago.
Yeah. Sorry,
and she was selling the same thing. She was selling like these pixel,
characters. There's probably one pixel maker in every big city at this point.
Okay, all right. I figured.
She just happens to be the one in Pittsburgh. Not unique,
gotcha.
But
there. Hold on, I'll get there.
It's fun. You can show
how.
Yeah,
they're cool. They're very cool, and they custom make them and everything.
There we go. Is it doing it?
Yeah.
Yep. And she has like 7 or 8 of our characters.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Yep, there's another one. That's Nia, the one before with Arctica.
That's cool. Those are cool.
Well, it's funny. I would have to go back to the comic book and look and like, okay, that one's this one, but they're just burned into your mind. I mean, you know what I mean. It's just like you're so intimately aware of every one of these.
Mm-hmm.
That's it must be the last one.
Yeah, there's only like 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Which one is that?
Red Gina. Mm-hmm.
Red Gina. Uh-huh. Oh, Regina. That's
Red Gina. Yeah.
I know it gets it. Yeah. I got it. That's cool. I like it when there's the play on words. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So basically, somebody didn't like the idea that I was saying, hey, maybe cut down on the salt and the alcohol, and they're like, well, this guy is screaming right now. You should go watch and see what he's singing. Freaking drama. Whatever. I don't care. It's like one of those things. Like before I get on Twitter, I'm going to put cameras on my house, buy a big dog, and keep guns in every room. No, okay, just me. Gotcha.
Just you.
No, but I'm all right. I'm like super defended here in case anybody tries to dox me.
Yeah, I'm gonna share something here with you, ID Crisis, real quick.
Sure.
And this is a.
I can't wait.
This year, should be. This is what happens when you do stuff like this on Twitter. Okay, you're the crocodile. You end up being the crocodile.
I am the crocodile.
Yes.
Somehow I feel a Twilight Zone ending on this.
Okay, well, go ahead and play.
Add to stream. All right.
Okay.
See,
Don't ever go against the social media mob because you'll end up like the crocodile.
Well, hippopotamuses, I mean, you know.
That's what happened.
I know. Those things are vicious, though. Like,
they are vicious, but this is symbolic. This is symbolic of what happens when you go up against the social media mob.
Yeah, for the uninitiated, everything that I understand about hippopotamuses are that they are actually the nastiest, and they're fast, and they're nasty, and they hate everything. There was a scene in Congo where all the rafts and stuff, they all take that trip to Africa to go see the mines of wait. Trying to stop this. No, I'm trying. I'm trying to close the screen, but not kick you from the studio.
Oh, I think I could stop it on my end.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, you quit it. All right. But yeah, they're all these rafts and stuff. You know, they've got, what is it? Amy's the talking gorilla, and they're all going to see the King Solomon's mines or discover whatever and blah blah blah. And there's this scene where everybody is in the river in their boats, and they're all attacked by hippopotamuses. And I'm like, are those really supposed to be that? I mean, aren't those the cute things with the big round I only eat plants teeth?
No, man, you don't want to mess with hippopotamus.
The uninitiated, yeah. Well, why am I the alligator? I don't want to be the alligator. I'm the water.
That's why you got to be careful. I'm just saying. That's why you got to be
water. Without me, nobody lives.
On I think the best or the golden rule that I follow is I just ignore all the negative stuff and I just focus on promoting and retweeting other people's projects that look interesting to me and also who I see are hustling and are serious about their craft.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best approach that you can do, because then that way no one can accuse you of anything. And I keep it strictly comics because that's what it's all about, right? At the end of the day, like you mentioned earlier, like all of, Richard Meyer, it's about selling the hot dogs.
Right.
So
right.
Just keep that in mind, ID Crisis.
No, it's what the gag is. Okay, I don't know who the Seth at Didymus Seth blah 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 whatever is a screenshot of how many people are watching versus how long I've been streaming. So naturally, because I'm at the beginning of taking over the world, that's the thing. Like, Napoleon's only got 2 people in his army, and we want to make sure we put that Twitter up there because only 2 people are watching. No opinion that this person has at all means anything to anybody. To which I say, meh, whatever. That's what that was supposed to. That was supposed to make me take my ball and cry and go home. But that's okay. I've got friends like Heroinberg and Julius to keep my.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, if I need an ego boost, I know that I can count on you 2 guys because you're the 2 watching. They referenced you in that twit.
In that tweet.
Yeah. Hey, in that twit.
Next time I'm on the show, I should have a cup of whiskey myself, so that way we could.
Well, I'm telling was I watching the one the other night? The one that has more than 2 people watching. It was I think it was a Jack show, and everybody likes drunk Cecil better, but they had Shane. They dragged Shane in there, and every time he makes $500 on a book that's on I think it was on a campaign that's already closed or it's getting to be closed or whatever. Every time he makes $500 on the thing, he has to take another drink. And every single one of these shots, because it's brown liquor, apparently brown liquor and Shane don't mix.
Oof.
I swear to God, every single one, every single time it looked like he was going to puke his guts out. into his Boba Fett helmet or his Boba head helmet. I kept waiting for it. It never happened. I kept waiting for it. It never happened. Like $500 and he doesn't want to take the shot. You just made $500 on your campaign. Dude, if I made $500 on a campaign, yeah, look, get me a bigger bottle. Because if somebody wants to see me get drunk for $500, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like the perception of my idea of what a successful campaigin is.
It depends. You really don't know how you. How are you? Are you an angry drunk, ID Christ?
No. Well,
that depends.
Well, one of Lindsay's friends has a thing that she calls brown liquor Brian. That's like her husband. There's like, it depends on what you're drinking. Beer
that's true. Yeah,
thing, right. And like a dark liquor and whatever. I know that wine, and trust me, you won't believe me when I tell you this, but I've noticed that wine makes you talk more. Even me. It makes even me talk more. Yeah.
That's why they serve it at like Hollywood parties and like these posh parties, so people can just talk and talk and talk.
Yeah, talk and talk. Well, yeah, it doesn't tell you that you talk about anything interesting. It just tells you that you talk.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They don't give you the subject. What do you want to talk about? I want to talk about this damn cheap wine they're serving at this party.
Just talk about how the art makes you feel.
Oh yeah, how the art. Exactly. What do you think they mean? What do you think? Yeah. Great use of color, and that's
and the square here in the corner. It reminds me of my childhood.
When my sister came home from a break, and she went to RIT for graphic design, and she came home with a T-shirt that was done in a Bauhaus style. If you guys are familiar with Bauhaus at all, it was a German thing, big in the 70s, I think.
Bauhaus, the Gothic German band.
No, he means the Bauhaus architectural movement that the Gothic German band was named after. The Gothic British band was named after.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Right. So she has this. Let's see if I can find it. I'll share the screen. She has this T-shirt. She comes home. This is an iconic image of this Brave tab of iconic image of the movement, and it's this.
Yes, that's the symbol of the band Bauhaus.
Right. And it's been around for a while.
Yeah, they just took it. They took it straight from the movement. Yeah, exactly.
Right. The thing about the Bauhaus is that it's very limited. You're dealing with right angles, circles, primary colors, and black and white. In that, you're right. So she comes home with this T-shirt on, and written around the top and the bottom, following the circle, it says BOREHAUS. Like in that part of art history class, everybody was just like, "This is one of the dumbest things I've ever had to learn about. This is so boring. It's Borehouse." I remember this symbol. Get rid of that. Stop the screen. Sure. See, that's what happens. That's what happens here. We spiral into other analogous things to talk about. I got comments.
No, that's fine.
Oliver's here. I didn't even see that. He's been here since a minute ago.
Oh, canijo.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. It's one of the reasons you're writing for me. I got that Mexican chick in my Mexican character.
I'm too. I was born here, so I have too much American in me than the Mexican side. So right. I know canijo is a word. I know how to pronounce it, but I don't know what the meaning of it.
All right. Well, if Oliver's still listening, help a boy out. Tell him what it.
Yeah, school me.
I might need to put this in a word balloon in the future. Oh, hey, maybe Oliver didn't see these. Let me see if I get this. Maybe Oliver didn't see these. I would totally do another one of these for like $200. They're such a pain in the ass. You gotta hit him with where am I at? How are we doing this? Yeah, you gotta hit him with like adhesion promoter, and then silver, and then the flake, and then the clear, and then sand them, and then do the art. Blah 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 blah.
All right, I know what canijo means.
Yeah.
Canillo, well, it's not really a bastard. It actually means it's like calling somebody a shrimp, or because it means feeble or puny.
Okay,
So it's a put down. It's like, "What's up, little worm?"
How do you-
like calling somebody a little-
I knew that. I knew that much.
So
It
it's
was
a derogatory term. So how did you pronounce it?
Canijo, yes.
Canijo. So if you say Canijo,
That's a good
you're
one.
saying
I'm
bastard.
going to use that in one of our next videos for a Poderosa.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That'll work.
ID crisis, multicultural education.
I'm trying.
At its best.
I'm trying. That's the thing. It's a multicultural appropriation. Appreciation.
You can't always call somebody like a puta or pendejo. You got to think of other things.
No, yeah, I was asking because I didn't know. Heroinberg is over there looking things up like a nerd.
Yeah, he did the right thing. He actually looked it up.
Oh, really? That was actually not an argument at the dinner table, but it was this thing where like, my kids were asking me questions that they could look up. I mean, it was a few iPhones ago, so they still had access to the world's knowledge. I was like, I don't know, but you can look it up. Well, they're asking you. Well, I'm going to have to look it up. That's how I would find the answer. I'm telling them how to find the answer. As their father, I'm giving them instructions that you have the sum of the world's knowledge literally at your fingertips. Look it up. Now, if you want to ask me what I think about what you found, you can ask me that. What is your opinion on this, that, or the other thing? Well, I'll give it to you. I'm giving it, to the world here, including Seth and that other person who has whatever. Never mind. No, I'm not even going to get back to that. But Oliver shows up at 11, and I got to get up. Well, what's 11 over here? What is it over there? 7 or 8 over there?
It's 8:00 over here. In
yeah, 8:00 over there. It's 11 over here. He's setting.
It's close to dinner time here.
Set up his stream, so I'm going to let Julius go because he's going to leave anyway.
Yeah, I got to eat.
I know where your priorities are.
Yeah.
You gotta go. You gotta get with your place from 656 Comics and learn how to speak Spanish.
I do
because you apparently don't know what.
That's my dad's gripe with me is that I don't know a lot of Spanish that I should know. I should know more Spanish. But
I try to sound
I always remind him you should have stayed in Mexico if you wanted me to speak more Spanish.
Yeah. All right, man. But I super love having you guys on here.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and thanks for showing the
link
so we could come
No,
on.
seriously, like whenever somebody shows up in the stream, I'm like, thank God I was running out of shit to talk about to my two viewers. So,
all right, let's get together in a couple of weeks and discuss Jupiter's Legacy, or maybe.
Oh yeah. I'm actually looking forward to that because I was a big fan of the comic book. It was a great comic, and I'm a huge Mark Millar fan too. And I was happy that that he got that Netflix deal, and we're gonna get to see a lot of his stuff in live action and be produced. So it's gonna be cool. Can't wait to see it.
Okay, and the first hashtag meme is going to be "The Island Never Makes Mistakes." So
yeah. I can see that happening for sure.
We'll see how that
I'm waiting
goes.
for that one. I'm waiting for that one to show up and go viral.
What was that? Tell me that one again. What was it? Where you're talking about watching?
Oh, Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, Jupiter's Legacy. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
The Island never makes mistakes.
Never.
Yeah. If every man is an island, then no, we don't. All right, man. I do. I appreciate you guys coming on here. I'm gonna have to go and make myself proper for public consumption in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't believe I got to get up in the morning. I freaking hate this. 2 weeks I got to get up early. In 2 weeks I don't have to get up.
Well,
I'm not happy.
You gotta get that coffee, man. You gotta get that black coffee in the morning.
Yeah, right. Set the coffee pot alarm. So, all right, man. You have a good stream. Julius Heroinberg, thanks again for stopping out. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button, especially to my two admirers over on Twitter. Like and subscribe. Whatever.
That's the spirit.
Good night, folks.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a good one. Thanks. And
All
may the 4th be with you day after tomorrow.
May the 4th.
Oh yeah. Good
May the 4th
night.
be with you.
Yeah. May the
All right.
4th.
All right.
See you
Take
guys.
it easy, guys.
Peace.